Hi friends, now I am going to explaining energy stored in a capacitor. So here in the given problem, from this diagram, in 8 microfarad capacitor, E amount of energy stored, then how much amount of energy stored in 4 microfarad capacitors. So for that we are doing one thing, that actually we are applying the potential difference V across the circuit. In this one, these two capacitors are seems to be parallel to each other, means when capacitors are parallel to each other, effective capacitance for these two capacitors is sum of the capacitance for these two capacitors. Means I am modifying the diagram. So here this is 8 microfarad capacitor and it is E amount of energy storing, and here if I want to find the amount of energy, how much amount of energy stored in 4 microfarad capacitors, means totally I am going to find in the how much amount of stored in these two capacitors. Means here 20 plus 4, 24 microfarad capacitor for this resultant capacitance for these two capacitors. Now I don't know what is the energy here, yeah, amount of energy stored in this capacitor, so I am taking as it is U2, and this one I am taking as U1 equal to E, U2 is equals to I need to find actually. So now for the we have energy stored in a capacity, three formulas for that: half CV square, that equal to Q square by 2C, that is equals to half QV. Three formulas are there. From these three formulas, any one other formula we have to choose, but which is the correct formula to choose from to solve the problem? It is here we are applying the potential difference V, but here to here the potential difference and here to here the potential difference is different, that is not same. So what is the common thing in this circuit? Means so throughout the circuit same amount of current flows, that means the same amount of charge passes through these two capacitors. Means here how much amount of charge is passing, same amount of charge pass through this capacitor. That means charge is constant, but capacitances are different. So simply, which is this, you can take the formula U is equals to Q square by 2C formula, we can take it is here charge is constant and C is value, we know the values capacitance of each capacitor. So from this one we can write as U is directly proportional to 1 by C, or else we can write U1 by U2 is equals to C2 by C1. We know the C1 value and C2 value. C1 value as 8 and C2 value, sorry, C1 value as 8 and C2 value as 24. So U1 value U by U2 is equals to C2 value 24 by 8. So 8 1s are 8 3s are, you will get that U2 is equals to U by 3. So this is the total energy for these two capacitors actually. Means again we are doing sum of the energy for these two capacitors is E by 3. Now we have to find the energy stored in this capacitor only, we want to find. For that we are taking this circuit, a small circuit, we are taking this. In this circuit actually how much amount of energy stored here, that we don't know, that we are taking as E1, and for this one we are taking E2. So now here potential difference is common for these two capacitors. Here potential difference is common for these two capacitors. So which formula we have to take from this one? Means potential difference is constant and the capacitance is different, then you can take this formula U is equals to half CV square. Then here actually 1 by 2 is the numerical value, it's constant, and V is also constant. Why? Because the potential difference is constant for both. Then we can write this one, U is directly proportional to C. That means U1 by U2 is equals to C1 by C2. U1 means what is the potential energy, here we are taking as E1, and U2 means we are taking E2 is equals to C1 value 4 and C2 value we know that 20. So 4 ones are 4 5s are. Then by doing the cross multiplication you will get E2 is equals to 5 times of E1. Then so this is the relation between E1 and E2, and one more relation is there, but for us U2 is the total energy for these two capacitors actually. That means E1 plus E2 is equals to u2. E1 value I am writing as usual, but E2 value already we got here. 5E1 is equals to U2 value. What did you get here? U2 value E by 3. This is nothing but E by 3. Then E1 plus 5E1 is equal to 6E1 is equals to E by 3. Then E1 is equals to E by 18 is the answer. So how much amount of energy stored in 4 microfarad capacitor is E by 18. And we can find that how much amount of energy stored in 20 microfarad capacitor also. How it is means you have to write it. Actually amount of energy stored in 20 microfarad capacitor is E2, no? E2 is equals to 5E1, 5 times of E1. Then if you are repeating this one, E2 is equals to 5E1. E2 is equals to 5. Even value already we have, so it's nothing but simply 5 E by 18 amount of energy stored in 20 microfarad capacitor, and E by 18 amount of energy stored in 4 microfarad capacitors. So we have to find only that how much amount of energy stored in 4 microfarad capacitor. So we got both E1 and E2 values we got. If you like the video, please support the channel. Thank you.